Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. Gavin, quick list of jobs that you've held before coming to Way FM.
Oh, first job was desk clerk at a dormitory at the University of Illinois. Second job was an intern at a research facility in
Were they
Illinois.
doing animal research?
No, I was a videographer for a bunch of things.
You taped lipstick being put on pigs?
It was just like there's like a bunch of different companies, like startups that were trying to figure out some tech-related stuff, and they were trying to hire an intern to film a bunch of their stuff and promote their products.
Okay.
It was bad.
You had a shoe store time.
The shoe store was after that.
Yeah. And then this. We plucked you out of the shoe store game. Betty Lou.
How is this relevant?
We're getting there. So Betty Lou, before you got here, one of your big ones was childcare.
Yes, I worked at a daycare, and then I had a little bit of time at Cracker Barrel, 3 days.
That's what I'm getting at. I was trying to remember what the exact length of time was. 3 days a Cracker Barrel employee.
Listen, it was
what
tough.
in the world?
Did you have to go back in and turn in your apron?
No, I didn't even have an apron.
Did you eat on the job
No,
at all?
I knew when I was leaving that was my last day, and I was like, I'm not coming back here.
How did you not quit? Did you just ghost it?
It's been so long.
Oh, she worked at
sure.
a tanning place too.
I worked at a tanning place.
did?
Yeah.
And
And I worked at an
so
insurance
white.
company called Hale Insurance.
Didn't you work at a chiropractic
did?
place too? And you wouldn't
Yes.
get adjusted?
And
in
they
the
and they
world?
fired me from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before meeting me, she
Yeah.
got fired a lot. And and I just put up
And
with it.
Look at me now.
I know, I just take
Yeah.
it from her.
Your pre-radio.
Yeah.
is
Yeah, it was touch and
fascinating.
go.
I gave you some stability, believe it or not. My instability is your stability. But no, I bring up the Cracker Barrel because after you not working there, it was all downhill from them. From there for them.
You think?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They've struggled. Remember recently when they did the revamping of their dining room and their logo?
Yes, they tried to make it more hip.
Yeah, they tried to do a glow up for the dining room and a logo redesign.
I
that
told them
everyone
no,
hated.
but they didn't listen to me. They were like, "You're out anyway."
Yeah, you're like you're not
so
a for-
long, sucker.
You're not even. You weren't even here long enough to be a former employee. We're not going to listen to anything you say. And so now they're back on socials, making the rounds again for a new policy that they have for their employees. The rule is that employees traveling for work should make every effort to eat at Cracker Barrel when they are on the road.
No
Yeah.
way.
Why?
It's just it probably saves them money, because if you've given someone a per diem and they're going out and making other businesses money, why would you not keep that in the family?
Yeah.
And they got a good menu. I wouldn't be mad at this at all. You're gonna feed me for free? Let's
yeah.
go.
And this is, you said these are Cracker Barrel employees
Yes.
that are traveling.
Yeah.
So I assume this is not your servers or your.
No, it's probably more like marketing people or bosses, managers that have to travel for a official work capacity. It's not just like you're on vacation with your family and you're like, nah, you got to eat there. But because we do trips sometimes and we have to eat out and turn in expense reports and all that other stuff. And so if they were like, no, you must eat at Cracker Barrel, I would be like, yes and yes.
Yeah.
How great is that?
Huh.
But then people obviously they get all bent out of shape about stuff online, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, Cracker Barrel's the worst." And so they did have another part of this that was interesting, though. They're further limiting the reimbursement of alcoholic beverages. Honestly,
Which
though,
Cracker Barrel sells, by the way.
they do.
Yeah.
Betty and I wouldn't know.
No, I know.
No,
that's
I
why
do
I'm-
know.
That's why
You
I'm
do?
here.
Was that in your training, or
No,
are you a
they
drinker?
weren't serving it back then.
No, but also
new.
you and I don't know. Remember last time you ate at a Cracker Barrel?
Yeah.
You and I eat there every once in a while.
Yeah,
Still,
I'd say at least
if
once
you
a month.
open up their menus these days, you can get mimosas. They sell beer.
Really?
To me, it's the most confusing thing because I am a straight get their water, coffee.
Yeah.
It's breakfast.
Yeah. If you're drinking alcohol in the morning. Well, more confusing than that was Chuck E. Cheese selling beer.
They
That
did?
was yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was the because they
What?
knew they were like, okay, kid's
got
birthday
beer?
party, we got to get the dads in here, and so you could buy beer and sit there and drink
Yeah,
beer
that's-
around your kids at a birthday party. It's
Crazy.
weird, but so they have this travel policy and they say that they're limiting the alcohol that they are going to reimburse employees with. Like, and I know a ton of companies that do this. Like let's say Gavin was on a work trip and he wanted a beer. Like our company should not and would not pay for that. Like, there's just no way. I pick you out because you're the only one that knew that Cracker Barrel served alcohol.
No, she did too.
What?
Oh, that's
no.
right. And so, and I get that they're different from a religious company.
Yeah.
And so, when I
It's
worked
not
in
Chick-fil-A.
mainstream radio, we had open bars and stuff like that at different events until a couple people ruined it for everyone by over drinking and getting in trouble. And so that got shut down. And a good thing.
Sure.
That ultimately was a good thing that happened. But I don't think that we as a Christian organization should reimburse any alcohol expenses, and we don't.
No.
If you wanted something when you were out on a work trip or something, you would have to pay for it on your own credit card, and then
But that's the interesting thing. If you were at, let's say, we're on a work trip though,
right,
and we're at Cracker Barrel,
yeah,
you turn in a Cracker Barrel, you have to hand over a receipt.
You have to hand a receipt, so
that
would show
that would show that.
Yeah.
That'd be.
Because your alcohol is always so expensive.
Yeah, and that would be way too bold.
How come the old timer breakfast was now $48? It's like, there's a reason for that. Don't look at expense 3 and 4. I will tell you this though, I have sent a bottle of wine to a big donor here at WayFM. WayFM had nothing to do with it, but I was starting a relationship with this person. And we just hit it off. He was really cool, and he wasn't a believer, but he gave a giant sum of money to WayFM. But he had come to a donor event, and at the donor event, when you got your dinner, you got water or lemonade or tea. That was it. And he was like, it's a bummer you guys don't have wine. I would have loved a glass of wine, because that's his ethos. And so I said, you know what? I am going to send. So I sent him a bottle of wine. I said, hey, I know we didn't have this at the thing. But I know you like this, and here I'm sending you this, and just thank you for the conversation and the time. And that was it, and he ended up being like this big donor, and and I'm watching his faith journey and still pulling for that. But I didn't think that was a bad thing to do. Now I know some people now if he was an alcoholic and I'm doing that, then that's a problem, but if he's somebody that enjoys a glass of wine, I don't drink, but I'm not going to sit there and judge somebody else for doing that. And you could say, well, you enabled or whatever, but I didn't see it that way. To me, I saw it as connecting with somebody through a common experience that we both had, and that would make me be a little bit different than other people that might be shocked or bothered by him, wanting to have a glass of wine with dinner. Because that happens in religious circles. People get offended. Sure. We get offended so much, and that we end up being off-putting to other people who are just kind of figuring out what faith looks like.
Yeah, and it's still super interesting because you do have people who can see what happens here at WayFM and see the good that comes out of it and see the blessings and see all that, and still maybe don't believe.
Sure, yeah. It's crazy to think, though.
I love this, though, and I love what this does for people, and I'll still support it.
Yeah, it's
that
crazy.
in and of itself is mind-blowing.
That to me is cool. I love that we have people that aren't believers that, listen, and my hope and my prayer for them is that they come to that saving knowledge of Christ. We probably have people that listen to podcasts that aren't believers, as well. And my hope is always for everybody to come to that realization that who God is, who he is to them, and that they need him, and that they will, accept him and move forward in faith. But it doesn't always happen, which is kind of a bummer. But I love that people are here for the conversations. And I think they're here because we've done it differently, than maybe some other outlets for this media, like radio and stuff like that. I think by us talking about all of our, mistakes, shortcomings, failures, questions, doubts, fears, that it opens up that door for people that have those same things, and they can ask them without being judged. Because I've always wanted to create a place where people don't feel judged. Because I'm like, the things that are important to me are like the disenfranchised people, the people that have been hurt by the church, the people that don't get it or, are agnostics or atheists, and like kids in poverty suffering. Like those are the two things that I think God gave me a heart for. For Betty Lou, God gave her a heart for the elderly, and she does.
Which is why I'm here.
Yeah, why she works with me
goodness.
and Meals on Wheels and stuff like that. So Gavin, what would you say your do you work with the youth at church and stuff too, so.
Yeah, I consistently do have that heart for pouring into like the next generation of believers within the church, but then showing them opportunities to exist in a world that's just not the church. Because I think that I came from a background of consistently like only being in church, which is
but you went to a secular college. You went to like a regular college.
I did, and I saw an opportunity to be in a place where you got to grow your faith outside of your home.
I think that's harder. Like if you had gone to a Christian college, it's more like home 2.0.
Yeah.
You just have more freedom. But when you step out of that and you go into a regular college, a secular worldview, humanistic college, and you're a believer and you're on your own and trying to figure it out, that's impressive that you came out of there as strong as you did.
Yeah, I think that it's telling kids before they get out on their own, like how important it is to make faith your own and not just a thing handed to you by your parents.
Yeah.
It's so transformative for them.
Well, I think everybody has their thing and their ministry, and you have some bands that walk in both worlds a little bit, and then you've got guys like Toby that are like, I'm for the church. I'm not ever trying to go mainstream. I don't want that. I feel like God called me to speak to people in the church, and I respect that. And then you got Skillet that it's like they do both, and they do both well. So everybody can reach people differently within their sphere, because that's what we should ultimately all be trying to do within our sphere and to the best of our abilities as well. Lady Rock, you have something that you look like you're chomping at the bit to add in here.
That is not a segue. That is not a segue. Try again.
I can't remember what it is. I should start asking you beforehand.
Look at the audio
page
that's up.
Okay, wait. It was about a podcast.
We're doing a podcast, and speaking of
yeah.
podcasts,
There you go. Gavin just did it.
Jeez.
Gavin.
I've never done a segue. Can't blame me for that.
There is another podcast that Jason Bateman is a co-host of. It's called Smartless.
Smartless, yeah. I've listened to it.
He and his co-host recently had an artist called Charlie XCX on.
I don't know who this is.
She is a pop.
She's interchangeable with like
no idea.
not Olivia Rodrigo. What's the girl from the Grammys we were talking about the other day? We were talking about her this morning. Well, Billie Eilish, but no, we were talking about her this morning. Wore the shocking dress at the Grammys. Chapel Roan.
Oh, okay.
Like they're like
but
interchangeable.
I believe that she is in her 30s, and she was recently on this podcast, and it was interesting because they were talking about having children, okay? And I guess Jason Bateman is getting a lot of heat for what he said to her, as well as his co-host, that why do you bring up the fact that she doesn't have children? Then you ask her, when is she going to have children? And it's just one of those things where it's like if they had a male artist on, that probably wouldn't even get brought up. And so some people are offended by it, saying like, you're always forcing women to have to give up their careers to have a family. Anyways, so Charlie says to Jason, she's like, yeah, I don't want any kids. I don't think that that's a good thing for me. Then Jason Bateman goes on to say this and gets himself even into more hot water.
Right. But, all that could change. My wife did not want to have kids. And she said once we started going out, she was like, okay, I think I can have a kid with this guy. So you might find somebody.
Well, I'm married.
There you go. I got to read a newspaper one of these days.
It's okay.
No, that's why you're here.
See, and I would have doubled down. This is where you double down. As someone that's done this for a living, you go, yeah, I know you're married, but he's not that great. He's not right for you. And you double down and you just go harder on the fact she needs to find somebody else, even though you know you've just messed up. Because he did. He created the cardinal sin. He didn't do his homework. You got to do your homework. When you have artists in, do your homework, and that's why so many podcasts stink, because they're so off the cuff and like, oh, we're just having fun, we're just friends, and they don't spend any time doing any work.
But I will say that she handled it well.
Yeah.
I think he just assumed that she wasn't married, because typically most women in her situation in life aren't.
Sure.
But she is. And so I could see where he would get mistaken, but yeah, I mean, he should do his homework.
Is it wrong for a guy to say, would you like to have kids? Like, how is that wrong? Like, I mean, because I
don't think wrong is
or insensitive, or, I mean, like, how is that bad?
I think it's more about, like, when she said, I don't think I want kids. And they're like, oh, why? Why?
Yeah.
If a guy said that, you would have to admit. If a guy said, I don't think I want to have kids, no one would be like, oh, why?
I'd still ask why. Yeah, I'd be like, why?
Okay, but in general.
Yeah.
The world, not even the Christian world.
They don't think
but
twice about it, okay?
Yeah.
But in some ways, women, if they want to put their career first in front of a family, they are looked upon as lesser than, selfish. And whereas men, if they do that, it's like, oh, they've just got all the time in the world.
Sure.
It's interesting because, like, when you have a kid, that is a two-person, job and experience. Mm-hmm. But obviously there are 9 months that the guy does not have to be not a part of, per se, because I can remember being a part of those 9 months.
Oh, yeah, I got drug into all of it.
But it's still a very different and a much lesser experience. And there's the recovery aspect. There's the historical aspect of women. But, like, even for Haley and I, like, we had Bennett, and after I had 1 month of leave, she had 3 months of leave. And then after that, we're in the same relatively equal boat. I see Bennett more than she does every single day. And that's like very, I think, different from women's experiences with kids.
I think, too, that there's something about, it's not only about kids, but it's also with marriage. So if a woman is putting her career first in front of finding a husband,
right?
People are like, what is your purpose in life then?
Sure.
That's so sad. Whereas dramatic. That's not the same for men. And while it is, I will be honest in saying, I think deep down, before the broken world got a hold of some women and tore them apart, deep down, most of us want to care for something. However, we live in a broken world, and they take advantage of that. When you want to care for something, you want to nurture something, you end up with a man that's acting like a boy, and you have to nurture him and try to bring him back, and he's not treating you right. You have to look out for yourself, because who's to say, if you want to nurture something and you just automatically get married to someone that you think is good, who's to say he's going to do the same? He'll leave you high and dry. So it's sad that we live in a broken world where women can't be the nurturer, or as easy to accept that role, because sometimes you are the only one looking out for yourselves. Others aren't going to look out for you. You have to do it.
Well, to me, though, the question, going back to, is it offensive to ask a woman about wanting to get married or wanting to have kids, whatever? I don't think that there are commonalities we share as people. There are also stereotypes based in truth for women, and that the majority of women would say, I would like to get married, I'd like to have a family. Yep. The vast majority of them.
Yes.
So that's where, if you're talking to people, it's not out of the realm of possibility to have that assumption that that's something that somewhere in their life, no matter the time or whatever, they would want. Like, if you were to ask you, you would say, I would love to have be married and have a child. Like, so it's not, no one, I don't think anyone asking you that is being offensive. Where it slides is when they're like, well, what's wrong with you if you're not? That's where it gets wonky. But I don't think the initial question is off limits or should be out of bounds.
Do you think that they ask that question just as often to male?
That's what I was going to say. Like, if
male stars?
When I was, stars is a good way to
it's again, it goes back to the stereotype and partly the truths inside of us. It's not as much of a driver for men. And so men probably aren't asking other men, hey, man, have you been thinking about getting married since you were 16? Have you had a vision board and planned your wedding? No. But my daughter did. My daughter had been thinking about it since she was a kid.
And I think that's I think that's going to be different for a lot of generations moving forward, though.
Oh, yeah, but then that's going to be a mess because they're so sensitive.
No, I know. You say sensitive, But I think that's a little bit more tied to the fact that you have people who do have equal driving factors for career related stuff though. Right now, like moving forward in like generations, like my wife and I being in your daughter and her husband being in similar playing fields of people bringing in and providing for the family, as opposed to a generation before that was really geared towards, all right, the husband gets a job and the husband provides for the family.
Yeah.
Like we're not there for the most part in certain situations anymore.
We were a team going into it, but the whole goal was that so that she could stop working and spend time with our child. And I don't regret it. I think it was the best decision that we could have made for us. But if you were to ask me, hey, did you want to get married when you were young? And the answer is absolutely yes, I did. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of a romantic, and I fell in love, hard, and it's like, yeah, I had no problem with it. And so if someone asking me that even before asking me about my job, I wouldn't be bothered in the least by. I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely did want to get married. And because people have asked me, oh man, you got married, were you nervous? Absolutely not. It's a great day. I wasn't even the slightest bit nervous.
I think there's judgment though. There's an unsaid judgment
for women.
For women,
sure.
If you're, I think she said she was 33 and she hadn't had kids and she didn't really want them, and to be shocked by that, it's like, but why do you have to follow this cookie cutter life? I'm not saying, because here's another thing. When I'm saying like all women want to nurture something, that doesn't necessarily have to be a baby. It could be your husband. It could be your nieces, your nephews, your friends. It
cats.
Doesn't necessarily,
Dogs.
Your cats. It doesn't necessarily have to be a husband.
Sure.
And so there's this unsaid judgment that you are less than if you aren't married with children. And that is not a judgment for men.
Let me throw this out to you, and this is a possible reason for why that exists. Again, I keep going back to like stereotypes or reality of life. So if you take a woman who is 33, she is closer to the end of being able to have children technically. And so that's why, like, the question, if someone says, well, I'm 38, and they go, oh, are you thinking about having kids? Because there's just a natural time frame in there that you think. And so you ask the question, okay, you've done all this stuff till this point. And so is this a thing that's in your head, or is it something you don't want? And so that's why. But yeah, there's a time limit that helps facilitate that question. Sadly for guys, you got these nutso guys in their 70s dating 30-year-olds having kids, man, which is insane. Yeah, I know. Like, so
why isn't that the question?
What are you doing?
Oh, I think that should be, why are you having kids?
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that one.
No one asked that.
I would ask that.
We do, though.
I would ask that because I think that's horrible. Like, you're in your 70s, like Mick Jagger or whatever, having kids, or
but you say it doesn't matter if you say you would say it.
Yeah.
No one is saying it.
Right. The society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's definitely
quite unequal. You're right.
To think that double standards don't exist and won't always exist is erroneous. And so there is a double standard. So you can either be eaten up by it and bothered by it, or you can address it calmly and rationally and have a good conversation about it with somebody when they step out. It's kind of like people that are like, oh, hey, thanks, man. I'm a woman. You misgendered me. How in the world am I supposed to know that? Like, I can't figure it out all the time, and in a split second, I don't know. So then instead of having a conversation where they go, oh, I'm a man, I go, oh, shoot, I'm sorry, and that's it, but when you make it an issue, then now you've painted someone into a corner where they got to defend something.
But I think the issue was made before, the issue was made before Charlie even said anything for herself. The issue was already made when the male hosts are going, you don't want kids? Why?
Yeah.
You can even tell it in my inflection in my voice. There's judgment there.
Sure.
And so it's hard to not bristle.
Yeah.
Because everyone's looking at you like, you're selfish. Why would you not
and
want children?
I get not wanting kids.
Yeah, but it goes back to you. It's not, but you don't. you're not the face of the whole society.
I think what you're finding out, though, and this is a great thing, is that I am far more evolved than you give me credit for most days. And that I am actually more on your page and on your side than you would ever want to admit.
It's funny how off air, off the mic, I could say otherwise.
Yeah.
It is interesting, though, because, yes, like, ultimately, from a podcast hosting sense, should have just done the research and talked about, like, me, you know, her being married. That's a pretty big miss.
Here, for me, pronouncing Torrin Wells' name wrong the first time I met him.
What'd you say?
I think I said Tarin or Tori or something like that. And it was like, because I know better. And I prepare. I prepare really deeply for all of my interviews. And I've had people say, hey, can we have this artist in tomorrow? Sorry, it's short notice. And I will tell them no if I don't have time to adequately prepare. I'm like, no, I don't want to do a bad interview with them. So I had that one, and I still cringe at myself for that. My old radio partner that I first started with, his was way worse. He was interviewing De La Soul. And he's like, so how did you guys meet? And they're like, we're brothers. And he's like, oh, he got me there. And he just had to own it. He's like, yeah, I didn't do any
rap. I thought you were going to bring up the other one.
Which other one?
The comedian lady.
Oh, Shonda Pierce. Yeah. What did I do on that one?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it was some clip of audio I played that was from years ago, and I thought it was current.
Yeah.
I thought it was from like last week, and I asked her a question about it because there was no timestamp, there was no date, and it looked like it was something that just happened. And she was like, that was from my thing 5 years ago. And she got offended and kind of went at me and then kept coming back at it
the whole time.
And I genuinely felt bad because, again, I do my research. I was asking her, I think, were fair questions, but that's the problem, too, when you're researching things on the internet. There's not always a time stamp with when that thing aired. You know,
her husband had passed away.
Yeah, and I asked her a question about it.
What's tough is that when you're like with comedians, especially comedians that are just like a little bit on the older side, like they're generally on social media posting things that are just like clips from past years on their like current it's hard.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that one. And because she was making jokes about it, like in the hall, like afterwards, I went up to apologize to her, and she kept in it, and it was really starting to make me mad.
No.
Like
she went in on somebody like who worked here.
Oh, she was rude. She was really rude to Ruth. Yeah, and so that was
bizarre.
That tore it for me. Like you want to be mad at me for what I did, fine, and you want to say I'm a bad person. Well, I don't care. That's fine. Come at me. That's fine. But like Ruth Ann is one of the nicest people in the world.
Goodness.
And when she was rude to her, like she was done to me.
I'm
like,
mad right now.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm done with you. So. Speaking of, I was gonna say, and I should live longer, but I don't know. But speaking of living long enough to see another birthday, do we have any birthdays?
We do.
Yay!
Today we do. Let's go.
Lincoln.
Look good.
Lincoln has a birthday today. He's turning 15. Nice. He said he loves the Wally Show, even though his family doesn't understand.
What, guys?
That's because Lincoln is the one that's going to make something in that family. He's going to be successful. Lincoln, you keep doing you, man, and I appreciate you listening.
His question is, what is your favorite sport? I would say mine, there's not many, but mine would be bull riding. I love it.
I do too.
There's the possibility that someone is going to get gored
badly.
And I've got funnel cake and cotton candy.
Yeah. I've never been. Oh, you've been like and seen it live. I've never seen it live. I got into a thing where I was watching the pro PBR, Pro Bull Riders Association or whatever. I was watching that every night when I came home on like ESPN The Ocho. And it is pretty exciting because I always wanted to be a rodeo clown. Like I always wanted to be that. I didn't want to be the bull rider.
You'd be great.
Frontier Days in Wyoming when I lived out there. You're watching them catch the like calf that's running away.
Oh yeah.
The bull riding, the horse, the Mustangs.
I like when they have the kids ride the sheep and they're like grabbing onto the sheep as tight as they can.
Oh, it's a world I'll never embrace.
Virtual pickleball is, I think, my new favorite sport.
Virtual?
Playing VR pickleball. I keep hitting my controllers on the wall. I got to get a new house. But it's actually stupid fun. I even put my pickleball shoes on to play the other day so I didn't slip in my socks on the hardwood floor. My wife came out and she goes, Are you kidding me? You're wearing your pickleball shoes.
You should go. Here's what you should do, because I got you a pickleball net.
Oh, yeah.
You should go set that up outside.
I should, and just play virtual pickleball on my net. That's so funny. I adjust the court because I have a really small area to play in. So I adjust the court so that the left side is what I'm seeing is next to the fridge. The right side is next to the wall, and the kitchen line is at the kitchen island. So I know I have to stay because you can do like a hybrid reality, so you can see your whole room and the court. So you set it up like that, and then you just go to the virtual reality, and then that way I know if I stay in those lines, I won't hit the wall, but I still do. Awesome. Like when I go for a smash, I forget I'm too close.
I still do.
And I hit my hand on
just
the
a
thing.
matter of
Your
time
shoulder
till you get
better
hurt.
for pickleball these days?
Yeah, I'm playing tomorrow.
We filmed a video for promotion
yes.
a year ago, and you were like gritting your teeth.
Well, dude, I'm like, I did this shoulder reliever thing that I did, and I started working out with dumbbells, and I'm not 100%, but I'm in such better shape in like being able to not hurt every day. And so, yeah, I'm playing tomorrow, like real pickleball. I should just take, because we have to wait like 30 minutes in between games some nights. Oh. I should take my fake one, my virtual reality, and just be playing in between.
Totally. Do it.
Gavin, favorite sport?
Golf. We'll just be quick and easy on that one. Love to play it, love to watch it. Super fun.
I'm glad you're back into it.
Yeah, I'll probably play sometime next week with the weather warming up.
Oh yeah, because Saturday we got sport drive, so we won't be able to play golf that day. All right, well there you go. Oh, speaking of sport drive, if you wanted to help out like with the podcast, we are able to do this because of our regular radio show, and so we love when potties step up and help out. We are 19 people away right now from making a pre-support drive match of $20,000 turn into $40,000, and that's a big deal. Like our company, obviously it takes it very seriously. We do too, and it would help out so much. So if you love what we do, you love having this keep going. If you wanted to do that $20 a month or a single gift of $250, that would be huge because we're literally down to 19 people from knocking this thing out of the park before we even get the support drive. And so just text the word GIVE to 91979 if you wanted to help out with that. We would appreciate it. Just give to 91979. If not, thank you for being a potty.